Nope. It's push now, though.
Ah!
Mike, that's going to be the first thing that comes up on that stream. I hope you know this.
I'm well aware. That's why I did it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You provided an intro. Or maybe you didn't. I'm not sure yet.
Everything's ruined forever.
Alright, so...
I was about to say something, but it would have been really mean, so I stopped myself.
Oh.
Should have said it.
So just...
Well, it would have been really mean to you, Emily.
So...
Should have said it. I've lost all respect for you.
All respect lost. Okay, so... let's go through this. You guys have agreed to help Ipey in his plan to take the plan from a 15-year-old ousting of Ahu from his company in a civil manner to a more dynamic ousting that involves him getting nothing. Correct? You called him back.
Yes, I called him back and I was like, you got a deal.
Okay. So the deal is struck.
Because apparently I'm in charge now. You're all screwed.
At least she said it, not me. So, and I believe it was also determined that we should probably go for the businessman first.
No, I think it was the scientist.
Yeah, I thought we were going...
I thought it was the scientist.
I don't remember... I think we needed to discuss a little more on who we were going to go for first.
Maybe. I don't exactly remember if we actually decided that or not.
Yeah, I don't believe it was actually decided who gets to go first. Anyway. So.
Unless there was something that, like, we missed and one was, like, glaringly obviously the best option to go for. Like, this one has this thingy and you really need that thingy, or, you know, this person knows this thing and you really need to know that thing. And we know that we need to know that thing. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why is my mic queuing up?
The probably the best thing is that Scientist Lady's currently in the Zodian Empire, which would not be a fun place to go to try and get her. That'd be one thing that might weigh in on the decision.
Perhaps.
Because, you know, that the lady who still wants her artifact and still feels that you are required to go get it for her kind of lives there.
Was there some mention of... Sorry.
Well, let's actually get into character real quick, and we'll kind of unpack that. Because I remember that Ipey was going to try and figure out if he had anyone that he could send you to perhaps help you out, fill in some team roles. He was also going to get a sense of where each thing was going to go before he does. So let's actually pull into scene on that one. So you guys have been dealing with what you've been doing up in the little corner of the periphery that you're in. You also had to maybe drop off Forco somewhere, wherever you wanted to drop him off. But I'd say maybe a couple day passes. And you get another call back from Ipey.
Did say we drop him off somewhere.
Indeed.
He was still disturbed by the threat.
I mean, I would be too.
It worked, didn't it?
Now I can remove these. I can also remove these two question marks off the map and get a couple new tokens on the field here. So Ipey is on Lop's Yard, There you go.
Moot.
And
Dang it.
I'll wait on the other one. So you get a call back from Ipey.
Mm-hmm.
He reappears on the central screen, probably calls the whole crew together to discuss this. And he goes, alright. So guys, I got maybe kind of a window of opportunity on Tegeki. Turns out, because of what you guys did in the fountain, we've lost all and the Morganites getting ousted, we've lost all supply of metal from that area. So Tegeki is working his butt off trying to get new sources of metal that we can process. He kind of gives a look at light. Currently, he's moving to be engaged in talks with certain individuals on the Endless Blue Mother to stake a claim on, what do you guys call it, the dancing twins?
Oh, sure.
Two,
Eternally dancing twins.
yeah, the two little ice balls constantly circling one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's currently in transit to head there.
Uh-huh.
Now, provides an opportunity for us. You guys are close. And though he will be traveling with a bodyguard because of what happened with Ocel, it's only one guy. In addition to that, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Tegeki has a bit of a weakness for gambling. Doesn't matter. I was trying to think of a better way to put it, but just gambling. Doesn't matter if it's the stock markets, cards, roulettes, slot machines. Not a really good habit for a businessman to have, but I'm not one to deny a man his vices. That means he'll be staying in whatever touristy hotel he can. Anywhere with some gambling. I got his itinerary here. I know where he'll be.
I was gonna say, is he an air breather? Because that kind of...
So, he's one of an amphibian species, kind of like your doctor there, or yourself.
I mean,
But he will be staying in an air-breathing facility.
there aren't many places that aren't accessible to air breathers anymore. But when we're talking about touristy areas, that's kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah. He makes a little chopping motion with his hand above water. Tegeki's race is a largely land-bound amphibian species. So, he's most comfortable above board.
Not many of those.
As for Ishka Crash, she's still in the Zodian Empire. Ahu has me using her to interpret some data that Forco managed to steal from Orgriv Atenna. That situation's become a little complicated. Namely, and he fixes Forco with a look, Forco didn't do his job as well as he thought he did, and the bloat flies onto him. She knows the data's been copied, and so she's looking for anyone who knows anything. Iska's basically in hiding. But that also makes it potentially easier to get her. If you can find her. But she's not going to have a big bodyguard or anything like that while she's gone to ground. So, call me back in a few hours with whatever you decide. And tell me where you're going to let me off, my man. And we'll be good. By the way, where's the faceless one?
He is sulking it up in his room, so don't worry about it.
Alright, you guys can just inform of the plan whenever it happens. As far as the Takeki, I do have some blueprints of the place he'll be staying, and the place where he'll probably be gambling, should you want to commit to that heist. And I'm just going to call it what it is. It's going to be a heist. Either way. Later. He I don't realize, I realized that I just barely thought you could see me. I gave a little salute. That's what that boss was about. Yeah, he gives a little 2-finger salute off his cybernetic eye, hits the button and disappears. So. And with that, he sends you the map, which Jack displays.
Alright, little fishies. What do we want to do?
Let me get into this map first.
Well, how fast does this species move?
What?
Like the guy we're tracking, how fast does his species move?
He's a somewhat slaunched humanoid, so you can assume he probably moves at a humanoid gait. About the same stuff you do. Actually, you're faster than human, aren't you?
No.
No? Just human speed?
Yeah. It's yeah.
So how do you take pace? Whatever.
Oh, I did. I am slightly faster. Sorry. The
That's what I thought from when we introduced your characters, that you were moved slightly faster than the average person.
Yep.
But yeah. There is, just to bring it up, the casino tower over there, the hotel tower where people stay. This entire facility is set on a tiny island, and this area here actually is kind of on a pier above the water. So this is actually ocean right there, where it says oceanfront. This is kind of like a club and kind of like a luxury gambling parlor. You have dance floors, you have boom boxes, you have the aptly named Fishbowl. Entertainment abounds, live entertainment as well.
Yeah, I know where this is. They had to artificially expand the island to make enough room for this place.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot in the way of land masses, so, yeah. I mean, we do have the most information on this guy, and he is close, if we want to go this route.
What other routes do we really have to offer, though?
Well, we can still make a run at the Zodian Empire, just gotta be extra careful.
That doesn't end with us, possibly dying even faster.
Well,
How long do we know that this guy is going to be staying here?
did what's his face say?
Yeah, he's going to be staying there for about 3 weeks.
So yeah, about 3 weeks.
Oh,
We should.
what were you saying?
I was gonna say we should probably go after this one since we at least know where he is right now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fairly easy to get to.
Yeah, this one, and if worst comes to worst, we could always, take it really slow, and over the course of a week, figure out our course of action while on the ground there. Haste may complicate things.
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, I'm muting a channel because it's going crazy.
The doctor's busy checking out Fish Chan.
Fish Chan, Fish Chan. It's an anonymous website for fishmen.
Well, I mean, Lena had dog books, so why not Fish Chan?
Because we are a little bit more classy than that. Just a wee bit. Not much.
Oh my. Well, I'm inclined to agree.
Are we really, though?
Just a little bit.
Well, they can't be Twitter because that's obviously the birds thing.
Right.
Yes. Yes, those many bird races which we have not seen yet.
Shh, they're on the opposite side of the galaxy for a reason. Do you really want to see a war
Shit
against...
everywhere?
Listen, do you want to see a war between the fish and the birds?
I was going to
Do
say,
you know
that's
who would win?
Hi, Matt.
the better weapons technology.
Exactly.
Is that supposed to be a joke on the fact that they both lay eggs? Fish and birds.
No,
Exactly.
That wasn't supposed to be a joke at all because jokes sometimes require a little setup.
Well, also jokes are supposed to be funny.
It's like,
Yeah,
can
but that's
fly,
never stopped you.
And then,
Bitch, I'm hilarious.
so can I, and then the chair just floats up there.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay. So you've pretty much decided Togeki's probably the better one to go for.
We have air superiority.
Good
Yes,
thing.
actually, yes. That is what we've decided.
Okay. So... So you're going to call back Ipey?
Yup.
I guess
Unless anyone else has something to say beforehand to try to change everyone's mind. Alright, we're calling him.
Okay.
Or I'm calling him.
I'm just kind of sulking in the back, just watching.
Why are you sulking?
He's still kind of uncomfortable.
Don't worry, I'm sitting there in the back too, just quietly.
Okay, so you call back Ipey. Mouse guy's face lights up the screen. Okay, that was faster than I thought.
Not much to talk about.
Alright. So,
We're heading for the casino. We want businessman.
Alright.
That'd be the best since he's closest and there's kind of a time window.
right. Sounds fine. What about Forco?
We're gonna drop him off to you. And
Okay.
you can send him on his way.
Okay, so drop him by Lop's yard and then heading to...
We might not want to drop him off at Lop's yard. Probably somewhere else, considering... Imagine if Lop sees.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to move player tab to that. I just wanted to move me as the DM to that. So I could do some counting.
I mean, since the traffic controller there is who we're delivering him to, I didn't think Lop would necessarily have to know, but if we're all worried about it, we can be more discreet.
Ipey shrugs and goes, I can funnel him some money and get him passage anywhere. Like, that's not a problem.
And being discreet is usually a good idea anyway, so...
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over at Farco. You get that thing I sent you? Farco just kind of nods. Yeah,
Really?
I got it. What really?
Did you get that thing I sent you?
I will return. Sorry.
I didn't mean to phrase it like that, but I don't think there's any way to say it. Did you get that thing I sent you? In any other tone of voice.
I agree, but I'm still gonna. It's still there.
Yeah. But yeah, Forco pulls out a little, like, data stick out of his pocket. Nods. Yeah. So. I just barely also heard someone step up, or stand up, so, who left?
No, that was my brother. My mic picked up him slamming a door.
Okay. But yeah. So you dropping him off on Lop's yard? Before heading off? Or dropping him off on one of the homesteads or Anarada?
We had said discreet. I don't know where discreet is. But yeah.
Discreet would be Anarada. Like, drop him off there. He can hop a shuttle to parts of the galaxy, wherever he needs to go.
Okay. Sound good to you guys? Looking at you, Emily.
I think Emily stepped away.
I heard someone say, I'll be right back, and I was like, who just left? Forgot. You know, if I was a smarter man, I'd make the galaxy map its units, just be how many days it takes the party to get to there.
You know, I remember that was a thing that you had planned on doing eventually. Like, you had said that you were going to do it, and then I think it just fell on the wayside.
Yeah, kind of, because I was planning stuff.
So, how about that local sports team?
I'm back.
Okay, so the party wants to drop Forco off and enter to Emily, because it'd be more discreet.
Okay, that's good. Good. Fine.
That's fine. That's cool. And so, with that, Ipey kind of just turns back to the group. He's like, so, I'm going to state this. We do need this guy gone, but that doesn't mean, like, you have to kill him if you don't really want to. You don't need to go feeding him to no bone crabs.
Right, of course. She's just about to be like, well, you know, we don't actually have bone crabs. It's like, wait a minute. Maybe it's best he doesn't know that.
Honestly, I thought that pause was like, oh, you kid. Oh, wait, you're being serious? Oh.
I mean, like, do what you guys need to do. But I will state, like, go into this place, doing it, you probably don't want to cause too big of an incident. There is a guard, there is gonna be guards, there is gonna be, you know, and the last thing you want to get known as is terrorists on frickin' a largely peaceful planet.
I'm from there. I know what's going on. We'll be fine.
They already know she's a terrorist.
Do not.
I'm not apologizing. Anyway,
He just kind of gives a wiry smile. He's like, just saying, like, I know that's how the media will spin it. Like, if a bunch of people walked into this club, guns blazing, and just took a dude out, they're gonna call it a terrorist attack.
I think there are many other ways to apprehend someone other than guns blazing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just because we had to the last couple times doesn't mean that's, you know, how we roll.
Puts his hands up, just like in kind of like a...
rolling.
Yeah, he just kind of puts his hand up in like a thing. It's like, I've just seen your previous work. It's good work, but just needed to be said.
To be fair, when we went after Forco, we originally were trying to do it the peaceful way. It just didn't work out.
He looks over from... That's true. Forco just shrugs. I was in a room. I mean, I took control of the station and whatnot, but for the most part, I was in a security room.
We're just gonna pay the pirates to give them to us, and then he took over the station, so we had to shoot some bitches.
Forco shrugs again. I smell the double cross. Takes a drink of whatever he's drinking. Either way. So.
Right.
I guess the only other little detail is like, you know the security team's all female, right?
I did not.
Yeah, it's all female. I imagine you can imagine why.
I cannot.
Ipey looks suddenly uncomfortable, like he might have just stepped in something. Or said something wrong, or put his foot in his mouth.
Why is that?
Isn't your society matriarchal? This is from Ipey. Ipey's kind of like, isn't your society matriarchal?
Hold on, let me check my notes. Can't remember.
If I remember right, I read that when you sent them to me. I'm like, oh, matriarchal society, okay.
Let's see. Governmental systems from tribalism to monarchy to constitutional monarchy, and finally they adopted a constitutional oligarchy. Let's see. Culture notes. Religion, appearance. Nothing in here about any kind of division of
Huh.
gendered politics, I guess. That'd be right.
I guess I...
Oh
well.
Yeah, nope.
Like, Ipey looks honestly confused about this. I thought your species was matriarchal.
No, not specifically.
I'm gonna have to go Google this.
Space Google.
Gonna have to look this up on a search engine sometime. Anyway, Godspeed, everyone. So, with that, with no further questions, are there any further questions? Any interruptions?
No,
No?
I don't believe so.
Okay, he punches out.
He gets his information from search engines. It is a wonder how he got this far.
Well, you know. I can probably see where the mistake could be made.
Yeah, out of character, we're just gonna go that he made a mistake. But I swear that I remember us one of these late nights having a conversation, and you saying they were matriarchal.
I don't have that in any of my notes, though. I can also see like where like maybe the discussion could have turned to whether they were or not, since their prevailing planetary religion refers to a mother, basically a mother goddess.
That's true.
And actually, I was going to say that in character. It's like, well, you know, our prevailing ancient religion did have worship of the mother figure, so it's not that hard to make that leap that we might have been matriarchal.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we're not specifically, so.
And that's fine. Maybe the hotel's owners made the same mistake, and therefore employ largely only female employees to better integrate with a culture they have made a mistake about.
That's possible.
Oh well. So, let's get this ship underway, shall we?
Let us go.
Okay. So, gonna need an astrogation check. Cassie,
So,
since Annie's not here.
Did anyone get a hold of Suna?
Right. Where is Suna? Is Suna here? Is Suna gonna show up? I will give her a poke.
Do you want me to also make one for Leah?
If you would like, I'd assume that she's on the bridge too. Or you could just accept help from Jack. But you got it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright.
Yeah, got it.
Could be in her quarters with like morning sickness or something. We don't know.
Yeah, she might be.
Or she's piloting.
She's probably just piloting. Jack has one of the drones nearby with a bucket. We'll combine both ideas. Jack has one of the drones nearby with a bucket just in case. But and Leah doesn't look amused. Alright, so about 4 days to enter at anything that anyone wants to unpack while the ship's transit?
SU probably tries to get to know the elf a little bit more.
I
Just
think everyone
because
should take turns yelling at Relin.
I think so too, but he is AFK.
Okay. We can unpack that when Matt gets back, that's fine.
But yeah, at some point during the flight, SC's gonna start asking questions about the other galaxy.
I guess it's at I'll see. Excuse me. It's been a while since I drank alcohol. Since it's Aussie engaging this conversation, how does she approach him? Like, when would she approach him?
That would be after the course was set and we were kind of on our way and didn't really have much else to do. So yeah, she'd wait until downtime. And probably approach him in the commons area because that's where we all tend to hang out, I feel like.
Yeah. There's also, the cafeteria, the bar, because you do have one of those.
That's right, we have a bar.
You do have a bar.
Oh, yeah.
It even has a stage for amateur night.
Yeah, she's not getting on the stage. I know she might just bring a couple of drinks into the common room. Offer him one.
Okay.
So Sarah turns to Aussie and says, what's that?
It's alcohol.
What kind?
I don't know. Asking me all these complicated questions. Sorry. And she looks down at the bottle because she hadn't actually bothered to check. Whiskey.
Works for me. He takes it and motions for her to sit. So, what's up?
Oh, we had some downtime, and I figured you're the new person on the block. Should probably get to know you a little bit.
All right, what do you want to know?
Yes. You're
That's-
from a completely different galaxy. What don't I want to know?
I mean, I might be from a different galaxy, but I was almost never outside of
What? Sorry.
I tripped over my own tongue. Sorry. I might be from another galaxy, but I never ventured outside of Nellura airspace or Nellura space. So I don't really know. I know like what's there, but I've really only been in a small sector of it.
That's still... Okay. So, a little bit about myself. I love to learn about new and old things. Specifically, old things in history and things that other people don't know about. And it really, really gets at me if I don't know something.
You'd fit right in back home.
So tell me about it.
No one ever has to work there, and so everyone spends their time on their passions.
No one has to work?
Everything's automatic. You need anything, it's there at the push of a button.
Huh. How does that work?
Well, primarily because we've been doing this we've had that system for so long. I really didn't know that there was another way to do it until I was taken prisoner, and it's really nice. It's nice to not have to worry about, am I going to, like, where am I going to live? What type of food am I going to have? Everything is immediately available.
Did it ever get boring?
That's why we spend our lives working on our passions. It's because we don't have to worry about any of that. So all of our focus and attention and drive goes towards pushing the boundaries, doing something different and new. What about your home planet?
She just kind of chuckles and shakes her head. My home is, let's just say less than hospitable. It is a desert. People can only live on the poles.
No one lives underground?
The land is not stable enough for that. We didn't have enough resources underground to sustain us. So eventually all life migrated toward the poles of the planet because they were the cooler areas.
But why didn't anyone try to terraform it or control the atmosphere?
Well, eventually, that could have happened, I suppose, but, we had a system, and then once we were able to explore, making our own planet more hospitable was never really the idea. It was to expand
But why? I mean, my home planet is it's almost completely dark, but yet we managed to temperature control the entire planet so that it's comfortable, and we've put up lights for for other species so that they can see and move.
Well, if you don't, if you we got into space before even those technologies were invented, and at that point we didn't need to terraform our planet.
We did as well, but we felt that it would be beneficial to us as a species to do so.
She shrugs. She says, well, one part of it is if we don't have that heat, we will not survive. So I guess that's part of it.
I mean, you're here right now, and unless you're wearing a heated suit, I would think
She is.
he has no idea.
She pulls out her arm and tugs a little bit at her clothing. Vac suit.
All of a sudden, she's naked.
Fair enough.
We can survive for a time, but too long without heat, we're not gonna survive.
And no one tried to engineer it so that you would live in them, so that you'd be able to engineer your species so that you'd be able to live in more climes.
Sorry, I missed that last part.
No one tried to engineer your species so that you'd be able to live in more climates.
How much do you know about the Zodians?
Nothing.
So Josh, I don't know how she would describe the oppression, but
basically, as a form of control against the species that they had as part of their empire, the Zodians would...
I know out of character, but I don't know in character, that's all.
Right. For Cassie's sake. Basically what they would do is, if they controlled your system, and you developed the technology they wanted, frequently that would become their technology, and they basically say that your species wasn't advanced enough to use it. And that's just kind of how it was. Like, you risked a military response if you didn't basically just give them the technology and stop producing it yourself. So, as far as why, that could always be it.
So she explains that in character, and then goes on to add, and beyond that, well, and she points to her tattoos, my people are a very proud people. We value our individuality, the way that we are different from everyone. You wouldn't be able to convince anyone in our species that we need to change.
I mean, my species has no government. It's entirely like everyone is part of the government, so to speak, if you want to think of it that way. When we started making advances into space and controlling more planets, we never added more government. We just had more people who participated. And so we faced similar problems, and the people who didn't just wouldn't get the benefit. And eventually they'd see, wow, that's pretty cool, I want that, and they'd end up getting the same enhancements that everyone else got. Never forced it on anyone.
Well, I see that our systems have been quite vastly different from each other.
It's well, part of the reason I'm so quiet most of the time. Everything is so different here. I almost feel that me saying anything is wrong.
Why wrong?
I never interacted, until I was captured, I never interacted with anyone outside of territory controlled by my species. Everyone understood our way of doing things in our territory. And so being outside of it is still enormously strange.
Well, that's a good thing about being in a ship full of outlaws. None of us are right. We all just have our opinions. I mean, your opinion might be wrong, but, you know.
Well,
It was obvious that that was just a joke.
yeah, and he definitely was giggling at that. But, you know, it's just strange, and the concept of money was foreign to me until, I don't know, a few weeks ago.
Well, if you don't want it...
Well, the concept might still be new to me, but I understand its value. Thank you.
Oh my.
But once we clear all of your names, I would, if we're able to get back to the galaxy I'm from, I would be more than happy to show you all.
I feel like you were going to finish that sentence.
And that was the end of the sentence. He kind of trailed off, like, lost in thought.
I think that sounds like a good place for a scene.
Okay. So, anything else anyone would like to do in the 4 days that go on?
Has Matt returned from being AFK?
Nope.
Nope.
Then we cannot yell at him.
Rip.
I mean, you can, he just won't hear it.
Have to yell really loudly, is what she's saying.
No, he's outside.
Really loudly.
Snap. I'm actually surprised that nobody Nobody wondered what the whole thing with Forco yeah, what's his name was about.
The package?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a difference between not wondering and not asking.
That's true.
Yeah, I figured it was kind of pointless.
Legit statement. Potentially. I mean,
Also, keep my eyes on any camera feeds from common areas
okay.
whenever he's in said areas, because I feel like that's a good idea.
Right. No, Forco doesn't actually misbehave at all. He mostly just keeps to... I don't know. Have you guys given him, like, a room? Or are you still locking him in the brig?
No, he can have a room now.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, not like he's a danger to us.
Yeah, he behaves himself, for all intents and purposes. He never does anything that would make you think he's up to no good. Jack monitors his... Oh. Yeah, Jack monitors the stuff that he sends through communication and stuff that he doesn't. It's all to Ipey.
Oh, I was wondering, is there a bracelet we could give him that is specifically, like, restricted?
For Forco?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could give him a bracelet that says specific restrictions and says you can only go to here, there, and this, and only use these devices. Yeah, you could totally do that.
He's got something like that.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
What do you say, Emily?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Then yeah,
I always forget about the bracelet.
it's okay. There's a lot of little stuff in this campaign.
Yeah, that's a good way to actually control what he has access to. Aside from Jack keeping some tabs.
True enough. Okay then. So you arrive at Anarita, probably, and let him off. There's a little incident as well, where as he's getting off, remember that android from the pirate ship?
Yep.
It tries to get off too.
Yeah, alright. That's fine.
I see no issue letting it go.
Well, can we... He's seen what the ship is capable of, though.
Hmm?
To be fair, that thing was terrified in seeing what we did, too.
Just saying. Make sure it doesn't say anything.
Well, I did say it was gonna get a visit from the droid doctor, i.e. me.
Oh yeah.
I could always take out that little bit from the memory of how we got places.
That you could. Would you like to make a roll for that?
Certainly. Unless someone has some good reason why we want to keep them, like, prisoner on the ship.
I don't see why we should.
They don't want to stay.
I don't know. Someone's replacement character? I don't know.
Does someone want to play a terrified female android? Female-styled android.
Alright, so that can be computers, electronics, engineering. What am I rolling?
You would be rolling electronics.
Okie dokie.
to mess with its cybernetic brawn. Please don't let me look here. Okay, yeah. Success for you.
Alright, it's not gonna know how we got anywhere, just all the other stuff. So, unless anyone has a good reason why we want to keep this, this cowardly droid captive.
And here's the thing, now that it's calmed down, it's not really exactly cowardly. You guys kind of put it in a bad situation.
It's funnier,
Okay.
but whatever.
C3PO it up if you could, as you so choose.
Anything? Anyone?
No, it could go as long like, I know that some people, some large amount of people, know that we can make wormholes, but at the same time, no pictures had been, released from the fountain, so yeah, still paranoid about that.
Alright, well, it's not gonna remember. So,
So yeah, you just let it get off, that's fine.
yep.
It wanders out into Anurida, looks back at the ship, kinda gives a little bit of a shudder, and wanders off into the streets. Okay.
It's just rude. Was very nice to that android.
That android was
fair,
always
we
like
kind of
that.
destroyed the escape pod it was in.
I mean,
You-
that android was like that the entire time we had to share a cell. So
To be fair, we couldn't risk it being Forco on that ship.
this is true. I'm not saying what he did was wrong. Also, just let him go.
Yeah, well, that's also true. But in theory, like, we're working together now.
Yeah, that's true. We also didn't know that. We also didn't know how deep this rabbit hole went.
That's true. And he also thinks that if he does betray us and we find him again, I'm gonna feed him some bone crabs. So,
Fair enough.
so that's also pretty good incentive.
Is it a rabbit hole or a mouse nest?
I mean, it's whatever you want to call it, I guess.
I had to. Sorry.
Just a mousenoid trying to make my way in the world. That's all I am. So,
Well, they say you can't go home again, but that's where I'm going, I guess.
Again.
Again?
gonna need another astrogation roll.
What's this one for?
For the jump from well, that's the thing. The question is, do you want to jump on your own power, or do you want to try and use Anurida's wormhole generator to get you to the Endless Blue Mother?
How do you say, Emily?
Well, honestly, I don't care who knows what our ship can do, because what are they going to do about it? Eventually, someone's going to figure out the technology, whether they have an idea of that it already exists or not. So, but if we still want to go stealthy, at least on what our ship can do, We do have a gate right there. It's going to take a little longer.
Well, that's the thing. We can go a bit to the outskirts of the system in Ardes and port to the outskirts of the system your planet is in.
Sure. Just saying. Honestly, I don't care which way we go. Because it's not that big of a deal either way.
Also, how long does the wormhole thing on Earth, how long would that take?
Take a little longer than you just jumping straight. Because you probably have to reroute you to a wormhole in the farm arm and then over to the Endless Blue Mother. So you'd basically be going like boof and then boof. Or you could just boof.
Yeah, we'll just go straight there with our wormhole generator. Just kind of, go skirting along the edge of the system so that hopefully nobody notices.
Okay.
Alright then. Make it so.
Working on it.
Number 2, make it so.
That 15 dough.
That 15 though.
Wild die, though.
That wild die though. Okay, so it would have taken you.
We get there so fast, she actually went back in time.
I'll for that level of raise, I'll drop a couple days off. It'll take you 3 days to get there. You fold space especially efficiently. So, punched. You go through space for another 3 days.
Who wants to yell at Rellin?
Everybody.
Also, Matt's back.
Welcome back, Matt.
You have 3 days. Everyone take turns yelling at him.
You can also be using this time to plan your attack and how you want to do this. In fact, I'm going to put back the map to the blueprint just to in case you want to do that. But you can also perhaps unpack something with Rellin now that Matt's back here.
This map's actually really awkward. I'm trying to get it all out without it being tiny.
Yeah, that's the problem with it being a lopsided rectangle.
Okay, see. My plan is we get there and then we improvise.
That's not a plan,
Improvising is a horrible idea.
That is really, really not a plan.
Look, I have no tactical training. I'm an engineer. Sure, I've done some shady things, but that's mostly been, putting illegal smuggling compartments on ships, going on on ships and illegally accessing salvage. It's I don't have a whole lot of experience here, so I don't know. Does anyone else have some ideas?
Well, I think the first thing is setting up the goal. And then throwing ideas on how to achieve said goal.
Well, I mean, the goal's easy. We just have to get our hands on what's-his-face.
A way that doesn't alert everyone and anything.
Which means we're gonna need to know where he's planning to be. Because, yes, he'll be in this building. Look how huge that is.
Alright, I have a question, Josh. I see a lot of... Is the main room there, like, where the gambling takes place? I'm a little confused. Because you said he was kind of a gambling addict. He was going to a casino resort, right?
Right.
Oh, I see.
So,
Casino tower. Oh, wait,
yes,
no,
yes.
that's what this is.
Yeah, this is part of the tower. So,
Confused.
gambling would normally happen in the main room. There's some stations here, over by this dance floor. Like, that's what these square things are, is they're all stations.
Okay.
And in the VIP lounge, well, bam, on those round bar-like sections.
Okie dokie.
So yeah. Being that the man is a man with a lot of money, being high up in a mega corporation,
VIP
he's...
lounge is probably a good guess. Yeah?
Yeah. And he's more likely to be in this club than he is the casino tower, because casino tower is for peasants, people who want to waste their time playing penny slots. This man has wealth, means.
Blackjack, hookers.
Exactly! There's dancing women everywhere in this club. Why not?
My own theme park with blackjack and hookers.
Have you ever seen a light-up mermaid dance? You can see a light-up mermaid dance!
Oh, we can see that anytime. Lights are dancing.
Chair wiggles. What do you want from me?
To prove a point.
In all seriousness, what do we want from you? Some dancing. That can get you there.
Well, I can show you what I got, but we gotta go to my room where there's a big enough pool for me to move around in.
We have the...
This is starting to sound like a ploy to just get you into her room.
I know, I'm like, don't we have a whole little...
And another thing,
area?
I don't know, because the writing was too small for me to fit it in, I don't know if anyone noticed it, but right here, that says guard control, I think it says tower or station, right there. And that's indicating this room right here.
Central guard post.
Central guard post, yes. I just didn't know if anyone could read the tiny writing, because now I'm looking at it and like, shit.
No, I had to zoom in.
Yeah. I couldn't get it to fit any other way.
But light up mermaids dancing.
Yeah.
That's one way we're gonna get it. I'm a noble woman, but I'm also wanted.
I don't think you wanna rely on that. Just saying.
Oh, you could serve, or you could, you know, be just eye candy swimming around. But you're gonna blend in better than me.
Honestly, like if we're talking servers, I expect to see more air breathers. Entertainment, maybe. But it's probably gonna be a lot easier for them to get around on a pair of legs than in a device like mine if you're serving food, drinks, what have you.
depends on how much they were going for the I don't know, the feeling.
Well, rather than build a dome underwater, they expanded an island and built on top. So I'm not sure that was necessarily a huge concern. Then again, a lot of air breathers like the beach. Quotes. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. Excuse me. That's it too.
It is worth noting that the entire, everything from about here to all the way over here is completely open to the ocean front. Actually, no, this is backstage. This is a backstage area, so this wall's real. But yeah, from the end of the stage all the way over there is all open to an ocean. So yeah, they do like the beach.
Do we have SpaceNet pictures of this place that are, advertisements and stuff like that?
Yep, you do. It advertises itself heavily as kind of a resort, place to mingle with the various sea folk, a place where both water favoring races and land faring races are comfortable. And it does hit the gambling very heavily. It's obvious that that's kind of where this place's main draw in revenue comes from. And a place to fuck. Without drowning. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
So basically, I was wondering about what I saw for background staff.
Okay, background. Pictures. Yeah, background staff. They all have, Ipey had said, there is a full complement of security. They are armed security. And you also get a picture, just looking into it, of the chief of police, sorry, what's his name? I'll just drag and drop him over here. Recycling a token. Yeah, head of security. Hang on.
Tiny blue face guy.
I'm recycling a token.
Is that Cobra Commander?
Jet Wizard? Here?
Jet Wizard? No, it's not. I'll use the same name. His name is Rasputin, but he's not the same Jet Wizard from the other game, or no, same Rasputin from the other game.
Does this one actually have the rah-rah Rasputin theme?
I was gonna say, it's a good thing that this is not the Rasputin from the other game, because if that's the case, you're all fucking dead. I have been specifically considering how to try and make a situation in which Rasputin can actually bring the terrifyingness of his character sheet to bear, and without invalidating everybody else's presence. Why are we even here? And I'm kind of running into the Frida problem in that regard.
It's true enough. But yeah, so they're recycling a token.
Oh, speaking of the devil.
That's the chief of police, or head of security. Head of security. Chief of the guard.
Captain of the guard.
Captain of guard.
No lollygagging.
No lollygagging. Get to your gambling and your screwing with fish people. You're fin banging.
And what am I seeing for wait staff and dancers?
Looks like they have about, I'd say about 20 dancers on a fully stocked night, and somewhere around half that in waitresses.
Also, everyone rejoice. This character with the social stats is here.
Hooray!
I was
Hi,
also
Annie.
asking for races.
Hi.
Races? Hi, Annie.
And I don't think I have social stats, do I?
You have bonuses to charisma, right?
Maybe. I'm still trying to get signed in. We went to dinner because there was no way to cook with the electricity out, and then we came back and then there was electricity and internet again.
Hooray!
She's got a charisma modifier.
As far as races, most of the dancers are a mix of various aquatic races. Some of Russ's race, some of the children of the Endless Blue Mother. Like, there's only 3 dancers of the Endless Blue Mother because they are specifically mentioned as fishbowl dancers.
That's
Have
racist.
legs.
Exactly.
But there are some members of, like, Russ Nemus's race. There's a few other particular species that are of aquatic nature. But it's a pretty even split between land-based races for the dancers and aquatic. Let's see. Waitstaff is all land-based. Most of the guards, species-wise, are all land-based. It does not mention any form of aquatic guards. Let's see here. They also have listed on staff a librarian, and they have listed that they're going to be hosting a performance by a band called 2077.
Okay, like, I understand that you wanted to try to slip me in there, you know, as staff, but I would also like to point out that we each alone have over 1 million credits. We could get into the VIP lounge as guests very easily.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Party, would you like to brief Annie on what's going on?
They're kidnapping and or assassinating a motherfucker.
And then I said, hey.
Okay, so
I just had to start with the basic one, but it was pretty comprehensive.
So the party decided while you were having dinner.
That they were all gonna fuck.
No.
Except for Ellen. Because they didn't want to wait a week. The drugs weren't gonna last that long.
This is the guy they are after, Tegeki. If you look on the map right now.
Okay.
Tegeki is the guy who's basically been figureheading the business for Ahu. You know? He goes and does the meetings, the business deals, whatever. Ahu's in control. This guy's the guy who's being his hands in it. He has the largest window of opportunity of an entire month that he's going to be staying at this hotel, because since you guys messed with the fountain, they've lost all resources from that place, and that's put them back quite a bit. So he's going to Light's planet, our Light star system, specifically the planet that Light is from, to try and negotiate with certain landowners and the government there in order to obtain a claim on a pair of distant ice planets with metal cores there, so that they can then mine and get some metal coming in. He's been doing this all around the galaxy, trying to just, well, we can't get a single solid stream of resources from one place, we're just going to have to scattershot it all over the star systems. Anyway, he has a weakness, though. This man is a compulsive gambler. Doesn't matter if it's stock markets, public trading, slots, roulettes, whatever. He has this habitual gambling problem. And so he's going to stay at this casino and hotel, which is well known for its gambling, while on this planet.
Okay.
And this provides an opportunity because most of his bodyguard won't follow him on leisure time. And now he's covered in spiders, as is every time. So that's what they decided to go with. The reason they decided to go with this is because the other target, Iska Kresh, the researcher, she's kind of gone to ground in the middle of the Zodian Empire. Forko didn't do his job as well as he thought he did when he was spying on the bloatfly lady, Ogrivatena. She knows someone has been looking into her information on the artifact. And is now basically on a massive search for whoever was messing with her stuff. So Iska Kresh for right now has gone into hiding. It opens up an opportunity because if the party had decided to go there and seek her out, she's not going to have any guards. She's gone dark.
Okay.
But it was a little more trouble than it was worth, because you're going to a place of a lady who's probably still a little sore at you for your failures, and who's currently on high alert. To try and find a lady that there's no guarantee that you would find.
Okay, but we knew this guy was here, so.
Yes, you knew this guy was here. So now they're just kind of planning like how to deal with this. They have a large club and gambling hall that's backed up to an ocean front with an open like deck to the ocean. They figure he's going to be in this VIP lounge because he's a man of means and he wants to gamble like a rock star.
He's a high roller.
He's a high roller. And they're figuring out stuff about the staff. Who the chief of security is, what sort of waiters and dancers are there. I think that Cassie is on their attempt to try and get Light into a sparkly bikini and dance.
So I'm actually leaning more toward, since there is no fishbowl anywhere near the VIP lounge, I do agree that yes, some could buy their way into VIP, but I feel like it's better to have more bases covered and have some people going undercover as staff, so figuring out who can do what.
Another question.
Uh-huh.
Is all of this discussion happening on our ship, or are we like down there looking around, getting the lay of the land visually?
This is all happening on the 3 days of jump from Anarada to the Endless Blue Mother.
Okay.
You guys are now officially out of the Periphery for the second time this campaign.
and the Endless Blue Mother is the planet.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that much.
So, and that brings us to us. What were we discussing now?
The color of Light's bikini.
Right.
Keeping bases covered. Some could get into the main room. Some could get into the VIP lounge as customers, but also having some go in as staff.
Except I'm sure that the staff would have some kind of check-in notice on something like that.
Yeah, if it's anything like just what I have even at Amazon, like we had RFID badges, like they would probably have something similar for access.
Yeah, but at Amazon, you're also dealing with people's, identity information too.
And you think that's not present in a gambling situation, or even more important, so that you can't steal or cheat the casino?
When was the last time you had to give your... Well, and that's where you're gonna... It's gonna depend on which part of the casino that you're trying to get into. Like, it's not reasonable to ask somebody to swipe an ID badge every time they need to go into the kitchen because they're a waiter.
True, that part. Yes, I would agree.
And if we figured out, you know, somebody who was wait staff and swiped their badge, that's a thing.
I'd say that, you know, I'm a fully qualified engineer. I could try to get on the maintenance staff, but I doubt I'd be anywhere near the VIP section that way, unless.
But you would have probably direct access to entity security and monitoring systems.
That is true.
So the question is, with Light, she could have access to the cameras and security if she went in like that, or she could have better reason to be in the VIP lounge with her connections on Anarda.
That's possibly true as well. I could try calling up Reyna and see if she has anything she needs done on Homeworld that would get me in the VIP area. I mean, of course, we'll have to do that as well. But
I mean, I know how I could get into the VIP area myself, but I mean, obviously beyond the fact that we all have money. She kind of glances over at the elf. Wait, he's gone.
Yeah, he had
the elf excused himself.
But over to where the elf was sitting, he's like, I wonder if he can dance.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
And Leah could be my good luck charm.
If you say so.
Jack and Lop appear as holograms, looking over the map. Is there anything we can do to help?
DDoS.
That might be a bit too blunt, but
Also traceable.
The Lop hologram, like, smokes his holographic cigar. Blunt's good. I can do blunt.
well, we're trying not to go with blunt at the moment.
Drugs are bad.
But if you can get into the system subtly, that could definitely be helpful.
Jack kind of nods. I can try.
Considering there's... I don't want to delegate anyone to possibly going undercover as staff that doesn't want to.
Quick question. Am I eligible to go undercover?
Yeah.
How much is she showing?
Well, at this point, she's like 4.5 months along.
She
And
could
she's
be
a fairly
wait
slight, well, but she's a fairly slight build. So...
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit, though. I mean, Shayna got to the point of being like 5 months pregnant before she started even slightly showing. And then over the course of the next month, that's when it all just like, hello, I have a baby now.
So I would say, like, if someone was observant, they would notice. If they were not familiar with humans and their shapes,
What is
probably not.
waitstaff wearing?
Oh, by the way, Annie, since we mentioned the baby, by the time this transition the transfer has been completed, you will add an extra week added to it.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and add that to her sheet now then.
Okay. Just so we keep track, because we've been doing a poor job of it.
No, I started actually adding it if you go onto her character sheet.
I noticed.
Yes, I was like, way to like use the system to my advantages. So I'm going to bump it to 19. So a week shy of 5 months.
But yeah, the biggest question is, what is the waitstaff wearing?
Nothing.
No, they are wearing a pretty standard red outfit. They look like cocktail waiters and waitresses.
Okay, because they could have been wearing bikinis. That's why I was curious.
Would you like for them to be wearing bikinis?
No.
Cassie.
If we're gonna get a pregnant woman to go undercover as waitstaff, then no.
Honestly, it would kind of make sense for her to be the one to go into waitstaff, because she's going to be like, "Hi, I'm a human. I wander around. I'm looking for a job. Got a job?"
I like working, and I like money. Do you have a job?
I'm human.
On the internet, Cassie, you do realize that they are hiring.
See, look, they have a now hiring site. She points you to the applications page.
So I'm totally volunteering then to go undercover for waitstaff, or, I mean, this is a casino. She probably knows how to gamble and could be a dealer.
That's true.
So you could either actually go and apply for the job, or we could steal somebody's badge.
Why not do it above board so it's less suspicious for someone to be like, "Hey, who's that person?"
Then here you go. She points you to the applications page.
Woot. Fills
So-
it out.
So are you going to try and become a dealer, or are you going to try and join the waitstaff?
Probably a dealer, because her ankles are probably not loving her right now.
Oh, by the way, we did also joke that Jack now has a drone with a bucket on top of it, pretty much sitting next to the pilot's chair, ready and waiting at all times.
Just in case that morning sickness kicks in.
Yep. So, any other plans that we'd like to get out of the way? Ocean's 11?
Right.
Anyone else have a plan?
So because we're all wanted, are we only wanted in that one sector?
That depends. Yeah, you're wanted on that one sector. The sector, however, is putting pressure on anywhere that you would likely go to basically, if they see you, find you. would be the thing. So, yeah.
But, like, would they have the ability to apprehend us, or is it a letting the other sector know that we're there type of thing?
They would... That's the thing. The Bright Star sector would not have authority to apprehend you. However, they'd probably be like, hey, if you see this person, you should apprehend them and extradite them to us. Because
but that's what Cassie was asking, not about Bright Star system apprehending them, but
right.
the system that they are in.
That you're in. They could, if they were really looking for you too hard. I would not recommend walking up to any policeman and flicking them in the nose, is what I'd say.
But walking in without disguising myself
would probably, like Mac pointed out last week, there is an entire sector looking for you, but they're looking for you for theft and basically sacrilege.
So in short, not everybody's going to be recognized immediately. Only if you give somebody the reason to go look for if there's any outstanding warrants for you.
Yes, that'd be the thing. Like, I wouldn't jump customs. I wouldn't deliberately make yourself look suspicious. But so long as, yeah, you're just like, especially in Light System, from what I've read about it, they probably aren't going to care too much that, hey, there's a person with a theft charge going on, and like looking real hard for this person. They probably have other individuals to deal with.
I was basically wondering if I could run on my whole nobility thing.
That would require identifying who you are, and that might require me to have to start making rolls of, like, do they remember that she was involved with this court case?
So, I think to bring another angle of logic into this, Josh, then, my question becomes, not how much of a fuss is the other sector making out of it, but rather the sheer expense of shipping off a convict across that kind of a distance. Like, you would have to be talking about applying some serious political pressure to make any other political body even feel like that is in any way justified. Like, yes, it's a piece of your guys' culture, but you want me to do what? You want me to send an entire cruiser for what amounts to petty theft? Y'all need to step off and get some perspective.
I wouldn't say there'd be an entire cruiser, probably a single shuttle, but
then you're still having to pay for the pilot, pay for the escort officers,
the fuel.
The fuel.
That's true. Like, certain systems would look at that and be like, yeah, we'll keep a lookout for him, dude. Like, yeah.
So then the question is then, how much does this particular sector give a fuck?
Let's see. What I have written for the river sector. Considering they're neighbors to the guys, they have a little more care for it than that because they have to maintain good border relations with them. But at the same time, they're also very they have a long stretch, and they're pretty militarily powerful. And keeping in mind, you are going to the system of the Endless Blue Mother, which from what I've read about from Emily's notes, they don't particularly would care that much. I mean, they are how'd you say it, Emily? A democratic oligarchy?
Constitutional.
Constitutional oligarchy. Yeah. So yeah, identifying yourselves to non-authority figures within the Endless Blue Mother system would probably go all right. Like, you'd probably be out of the system before you'd ever get reported. Just to go along with Cassie's idea of identifying herself as a noble. You know?
Just
because that's the underlying
the VIP area.
As far as identifying yourself as a noble, like, I don't think that would immediately draw the cops to you on your heads in this system. Since I do believe that's the underlying question, correct?
Yeah. Because, well, for some, like, having money is the reason to be in the VIP lounge. They're usually still pretty known when you're in a VIP lounge like that.
Right. So
like,
yeah,
this guy is well known.
That would be my answer on it. It's that it wouldn't result in immediate consequences, but there could be some long-term consequences. I'd have to make some rolls and see if anyone recognized your name. But as far as immediate, like, cops swarming the resort and you all going out in handcuffs, no, probably that wouldn't happen. Is that a sufficient answer?
Yeah, so basically the biggest thing that could happen is Brightstar would wind up knowing that we were there. And what happened there. But
yeah.
It does happen. What do you guys think?
It would get us an insider, or get inside the VIP lounge just in case they end up assigning Leah to another area.
I still like the idea of Light getting into the security if possible.
Like I said, I could try to go in and see if they need anyone in maintenance, and then
Jack,
see what we can interpret from there. So, if Jack can get in subtly, like we mentioned before, then we might not even need me in there.
Jack actually pipes in, you know, I could work with you on that. If I make it look like there's a maintenance problem in that area, you could be there to fix it. Like an IT problem.
Or that.
I think I could work with that. It's more subtle than just DDoSing the entire system and making it obvious that there was an attack.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I said we don't want to do that.
And then from there, the biggest trouble is getting him out.
That is a question. How do you intend to get him out?
It's true, we can get close to him, but that doesn't mean we can get him out.
Has he visited this hotel previously so that we could maybe see a previous record of how he went about his time in the hotel / casino?
Didn't we have his itinerary?
Yes, you had. Well, you had his itinerary, but that was basically like what planet he's going to and when he'd be in meetings. It wasn't like what he'd do on leisure time.
Well, if something happens and the lights go out, or there is a alarm or something that would cause a commotion, and us being ready to get hit, to take him in the process. Going down through the hotel area seems like it might be a way out that's close to the VIP lounge.
I mean, if we want to go for him in his room, we can probably guess he's probably going to be one of the upper floors, maybe the penthouse. We can always just go there as tourists, rent hotel space, and then go from there, trying to find out which one is his room and get in there and just wait for him.
I'd like to repeat my question. Do we know if he's been at this hotel before for us to maybe use that for some bearing on how he uses it?
You do not.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, if we can get into the security system, then we can always watch him, find out where he goes, find his room that way, and just make our move then.
Also possible. Lop kind of pops up. Could just steal a key. His key. You got a plan to get close to him.
This is quite true.
I will state, however, that he would have his guard with him in his room.
Yeah, it seems like better to maybe try and grab him when he's in transit from one area to another. That way there's no one specifically who saw him get grabbed. So maybe when he's at the restroom or something like that.
And actually...
Or perhaps somebody could flirt with him.
Oh yeah, he's totally gonna have a fetish for the pregnant belly, isn't he?
I wasn't just saying you.
I may have agreed to
Some of us
cutting
might
up a
be
dead man, but I am not doing that. I have some standards.
No, actually, that was a point that was brought up. The VIP lounge, he won't have his guard. That'll be where he's the most vulnerable. It's just, if we can get him without making a fuss, we just need to be able to get in there, and then we need a passage out that won't take us anywhere where his guards might see him.
Well, I mean, does he like
There's
to
just
drink?
no possible way that I could flirt with someone.
She rolls her eyes. Does he like to drink? Because, I mean, how often does somebody from that, get a little wasted and have to be escorted out to their room?
Again, if we are, we all wind up being in the lounge area and there becomes an issue like an alarm or something, it's a lot easier to grab somebody while there's a commotion going on.
I'd also like to point out that if we get Leah on the wait staff, then even if he doesn't drink much, we can still slip him something.
Because my concern is if they see a commotion go on and then they do their head count and he's gone, it's going to draw a lot more attention than a guy just suddenly left the hotel.
I was really thinking about the type of commotion that would cause people to leave the hotel. an alarm.
Right, but what I believe Thea was saying was that if there's an alarm going off, his guards are going to then specifically be looking for him and note he's gone. And if we can just slip him out quietly while nothing's going on, then they won't necessarily know until later, when he does not. He does not check in when he's supposed to.
I mean, it's really a matter of how much of a fuss do we want to make. But the bigger the fuss, the more quickly it's going to be noticed something's happening, and gives us less time to, hightail it out of there.
Which is why I was suggesting we could have one of us flirt with him as he's getting very drunk and leaving the room.
Part of that probably depends on where his guards are waiting for him as well.
And maybe this was explained earlier. What are the entrances, exits to the VIP lounge exactly?
Okay, let me pull up my ruler here.
I mean, if we have
There
an
is-
engineer, why not take advantage of maybe breaking a wall through the dressing room?
That's true. Other than that, there's an active performance going on the stage. There's a ramp up here into it. That's the primary entrance and access point. There is a pair of exit doors right there.
Okay.
And that's the 2 ways in and out.
Okay.
These doors allow people out, but not back in. And the ramp up is right there.
So the VIP lounge, is it only like a bar, or are they playing cards there, or slots or anything like that as well?
This round part here is a bar and gambling station, basically. Various games are on there.
So,
This is more of an entertainment area. Dancing happens over here.
okay.
Kind of a mingling circle right here. Like a lot of people probably standing around there.
Is there any substructure, like, let's see if I can get a...
There's a DJ booth here, and probably sound equipment underneath.
But is there any, like, basement underneath that if we wanted to, like, drop through?
Yeah, this whole place is raised.
So is there any access ports to that basement for either mechanical or maintenance purposes?
Yeah. There's one right there for the DJ booth. There's probably one from the backstage area here.
Because, and I don't know if I can get this the way I want it to draw. So excuse the poor drawing here, since I have limited functionality at the moment. But if we could somehow, like, ideally get him to a place like right here that had an access port to the floor that's out of view of a portion of the room that hasn't entered into. Oops, I didn't do that one. Before we get into the main lounge and stage and everything.
Let me zoom in a little bit.
I hope that drew.
Yeah, it drew.
I see the X.
I see X's and lines. So this
The line
is
was not meant to be.
Yeah. So, like, what you're basically saying is, can we get him here and make him just basically disappear?
Yeah, into the basement.
Into the basement? Not without lots of people seeing. Because access is right here. And this is a dance floor, where there's probably people doing stuff.
Well, and that's why I was wondering if over here there was, like, a sound system up the wall.
Yeah, this is what that is right here, this square.
Okay. That's why I was thinking, like, under there.
Mm-hmm. There's a large, like, media wall and sound system right there. Though the DJ probably won't be playing, because the stage is here.
I just realized you put Spider up there.
Yeah, dance, Spider, dance!
S9I is omnipresent.
And also keep in mind, as potential escape route, all of this right here, literally towards ocean.
Mhm.
And we do have it was established that the guy that you're trying to take, well, he can breathe water. He's amphibious, just like Dr. Rusnemus and Light.
Anyway, that was just one thought to try and minimize the visuals of carrying him around.
True enough.
I would leave that, I guess, more to the tactical and members of the team, because definitely Leah is not going to be taking part in the actual abduction.
Actually, yeah, that is. I mean, this is the stage up here. But how much? I mean, is the whole thing visible?
Usually there's curtains on most stages to
Yeah.
provide some.
Because I was gonna say, like, that, you know, just like making a run for the stage and then diving out in the ocean is like a good backup plan. But it's not great if you're like completely visible to everything either.
Right. And yeah, there are some curtains that kind of cover about, like right here. This is part of the stage, like the wings of the stage. Because most people will be watching it from the main room on, like right here.
And could you mark where the open area is?
Certainly. Let me just grab my line tool. Just gonna. So it's from.
You can erase my lines at any time. I don't think I can.
It's from there to there. Nope. Control Z, please. Oh. I should probably not be doing it on the cameraman, is what I shouldn't be doing. Let's do it. So DM marks it from there to there. That's where this to this is the open area. From, dang it, I did it again.
Wrong layer.
And there to there. Should be on the object layer.
I got.
Like that.
Okay, there we go. We got lines.
We got lines.
Okay, and then the curtains. Mark where they are, please.
When they're retracted from there to there, and they go to here. They will cover the entire stage when fully extended. But right now they're retracted to right there to keep people from seeing into the back wings of the stage.
Okay, so yeah, just like direct, if we can, if necessary, we can just take him out like the exit, make our way around the stage, and just dive out here. But
I have a silly question.
Still,
This is
kind of a.
Okay, what's your silly question?
Okay, this is just because I've spent a good amount of time on stages for band and stuff. And I've helped with been around a lot of shows for that same reason. How does one get from the dressing room stage left if they have to make an entrance stage right? Is there a tunnel underneath or something for them to access and go through so that they can do that? Because, I mean, there are times that you want either a dance or a drama to have an entrance from the other side.
That's true. This stage is normally not used for like performances like that.
But even still, dance.
But even still, and this is where the DM has to give an out of character confession. This map is actually 2 maps, which I smashed together. So yeah. So that is a good logical point. And I'm going to say, yeah, there's probably some form of tunnel underneath the stage to emerge on the other side.
Is having the back of the stage have a back alley behind it, but obviously they would do that And if there's ocean, the idea is you're having that ocean front view on the backside of the stage.
Exactly. So I'm going to say that, yeah, there's probably a tunnel underneath the stage. Some form of back alley beneath the stage probably runs from where you see this square here over to that side. Right about there. So
Which also, this probably was asked, but how much of a is there like a drop from the stage to the seafront, like despite the normal stage if it's raised?
It's basically on like a raised pier, so I'd say maybe like a 10-foot drop, 10, 15, depending on the amount of tide, which this is happening at night, so take that as you will. I think night's high tide.
That's going to depend. That's going to depend entirely on how many moons does this planet have,
and how did they all cycle through?
Emily, how many moons does this planet have?
Very carefully.
I did not note any moons.
So
this
they don't
planet
have a tide.
Oh,
Yeah.
Science.
Science! No tide on this planet. So 15 feet consistently.
Oh, you know what? You know what that would mean, though?
What?
That means that largely the oceans on this planet don't have much in the way of below surface currents.
Mhm.
So yeah, that
Stagnant
you
water.
well, not necessarily stagnant, because there comes a point where, because of the sheer volume, it's still able to cycle itself out due to differences in temperature. So it's going to still have upflows and whatnot. But because I feel it's kind of safe to assume that this planet has uneven heating, so that it is still able to maintain weather patterns. Otherwise, yeah, you're pretty much just in a great big ball of hydrogen. So assuming that it has weather, which means that it has uneven heating of the planet, then you could say that there's uneven heating of the water, and so therefore, yes, there will be some current, but a hell of a lot less than we currently have, which does mean that it would be fairly easy to have sustainable underwater structures, and even some structures which, kind of think kind of like Cloud City, but on the surface of the water, where they don't drift all that much because, again, there's not a ton of current. Oh, just observational comments.
Science.
Science! Okay, so
Honestly, like when I was thinking of structuring, I there was of course cave dwelling, but I was thinking they probably also had woven buildings meant to float, but which makes more sense if there's not heavy current going on either. So that does kind of work out. Honestly, it was more of an oversight when I was making it. I didn't note any moons anywhere.
Well, Rowan wasn't a potato until we decided to overanalyze this shit, so here we go.
But that, honestly, that does kind of work out. So, sure.
okay, so yeah, 15 feet consistently, all times. No tides. So, that's a plan. You're going to make this man disappear. Your backup plan is to just grab him and throw him in the ocean.
Maybe let's refine plan A first.
Probably into the waiting lines of Dr. Russ Nemus. The only other person who can maintain underwater for long periods of time, who's not currently involved in the plan.
Well, if we don't need to take over the security system, then if Russ doesn't want to be there, then it could be me. It kind of depends on what we need, actually need done.
Well, no, I kind of like the plan of Jack inserting something into the central security system that requires an IT person to come. And then you have access to the guards' computers, and you can do whatever you want from there.
Right. Well, we got backup plan anyway, so that's good. Like, we'll grab him, make a run, just toss him out in the ocean to someone who's waiting there. But,
Okay.
what is the main plan? Like, I mean, exactly, you know, we haven't exactly worked that out exactly. I mean, we can
I guess I'm going to have Jack doing the analysis thing. So the main plan is we are going to have numerous infiltrators, Leah as a dealer, or some form of in the VIP lounge. And the noblewoman, as the noblewoman, there's going to be some flirting, and you're going to try to get him to come to your room, where therefore we can abduct him. Correct? Is that the main plan?
You're gonna have to take him before we get there, because, like I said, we don't know where his guards are, and they're going to at least follow along, at least until you get to the room. And they'll probably be waiting outside, unless you want to like take out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And
unless he, instead of going to his room, going to, her potential room.
The plan would, I mean, it would still contain the same problems. Because his guards are going to be waiting somewhere outside the VIP lounge. And then they will likely join you, at least as an escort, to wherever yours or his hotel room is. And then they will probably be waiting outside the door for him to return. Or if you're in his room, then they'll probably waiting outside the door until he kicks you out. So again, we probably have to go out.
I don't know. You can always
go out
be
a
like,
window that way.
You can always say that you can't get in the mood if they're standing right there and see if that gets him to dismiss them further.
Well, they'd be outside the room. That's the big thing.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he likes an audience, but I'm just, I'm assuming he'd probably want the privacy and have them outside the room.
So, hotel windows open.
Actually, they don't.
Says the former hotel employee.
It's okay. Hotel windows break.
Some hotel windows open. The ones around here do.
Yeah, like, I've only been really to Vegas, and tower-based hotels like this, they don't have open windows, largely because a lot of people will do dumb stuff with them, or commit suicide with them.
Yeah, the only time I've seen hotels with windows that open are, like, in movies, and then they open onto a balcony.
That's true.
A lot of them around the Seattle area do open. I've been on like the 20-something floor and opening the window, and for stupid shit, but I mean, we were there. We were opening the window, putting our hands outside, so that must have been there wasn't a screen or something.
Did it not open very far?
I really don't know how we managed to do that. Like, thinking back on it, I know we were putting our hands outside the window. And I know we were on the 22nd floor because I had to climb those stairs during a moment when the elevator was broken.
Okay, anyway, so that's so far the only, like, Jack actually, so far the only hole I see to plan is, like, once he's in the room, how do you get him out of the room? The idea is to make this man disappear.
Well, I mean, if we can open the window or break the window quietly, or quietly enough not to alert the guards, then I suppose you could always get the shuttle up there to grab him.
The shuttle's gonna alert the guards. Any room?
Not if we have control of the outside cameras.
Someone's not going to look out their window and be like, that particular device seems to be flying a little too close to the building.
I suppose someone might be disturbed by the noise and complain. That is possible.
Also, it wouldn't be difficult to, get a window open, but climbing down the outside of the building also would not be a good plan because, again, people look outside their windows.
Yeah, that's not gonna...
That's kind of why I liked the idea of trying to find a way to get him down into the basement. Because then there's not as many cameras, not as many eyes. Service entrances and exits that can be used with just breaking a lock instead of a wall or a window.
But how do we get him into that?
Well, I mean, if you're seducing me, and you can always be like, hey, want to go find someplace secluded right away and, duck under the stage or something.
Far-fetched idea. Maybe try and lead him back to the ship.
Again, you have to find a path to lead him that his guards won't see him and join them.
Well, you simply tell the man that maybe, dismiss the guards and you go. It's the same idea that the secluded area, just with verbal confirmation from the to the guards.
I mean, we can try it. And even if they have to follow as far as a certain distance, we can find a way to get rid of them.
And if it really helps, I'm pretty sure I can hand C my stun baton.
Could you
I have a
hand
quick
me
question.
an injector with some sedatives?
Ah, the drugging comes up. I was waiting for the drugging to come up.
I was trying to avoid that.
For Russ to do the drugging.
Second time the drugging has come up. Remember, I said, if we got Leah on the waitstaff instead, she could always slip him something.
I
Oh.
was
Yeah. Avoid that
actually thinking
conversation.
about drugging the guards after, maybe after we got up to the hotel room,
How
or
many guards? How many guards were there again, Josh?
Just one.
Just one?
the guard.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said guards, so I was thinking multiple. But if there's just one, that's easy. That makes things easier.
I have a question. When they go to the VIP lounge, do we know where the guards are stationed?
Nope.
So
They're
they
his
could be
Yeah,
just
they're his
outside the
private.
door or... Okay.
Yeah, they're his private security.
You mean
They will not.
that one person is his private security?
That one person.
So getting him up to his room and then having somebody come up and distract the guard and sedate the guard. Just as an idea.
Well, hell, if there's only one guard,
Sedation
why don't
is
we just try to
almost definitely
smuggle
the
him
best
over
way
to
to
the
get
stage and just throw him out in the ocean again? Instead of going backup plan, just go with that as being plan A. Like I honestly thought we were talking. He was traveling with like a team of guards. Like this was gonna be this is one person's a lot easier to evade than a whole team of them.
Yeah, it is just a single bodyguard. So, seduce the guy, get him up, drug the guard, leave with the dude. That's the plan?
It works.
Probably drug the dude as well. Just saying.
So we'll need 2 syringes of drugs from Dr. Rusnemus.
I mean, yes, no, we can have a syringe just in case.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a weapon that cannot be taken from me.
True enough, unless they break it.
Blood trails are not good.
No, but coercion is something that can happen.
All he has to say once we get to a lobby area is, "Help me! They've subdued my guard, and I have a weapon on me."
The weapon is to stop that from happening. Remember?
But why would he do that?
Why would he do what? To listen?
Like, why would he listen to that? Because if you're trying to take him alive, it's kind of automatically obvious that you're not going to kill him.
I don't have a
He doesn't really have anything to lose from that.
I mean, even if he doesn't know that whether or not we are taking him alive because we specifically need him alive or because this was the better of the options.
Remember, there was never specified.
I was going to say, do we have to keep him alive? Because it'd be a lot easier to just slip him something that caused him to have to smoke.
I believe
Ipey
it was not required to keep him alive, right?
Ipey specified that you did not have to keep him alive at any point. Merely that the one thing he was concerned about is make sure you don't come into this thing and make it look like it was a terrorist attack. Don't go in guns blazing. Get your guy and get out. Because that is what they'll think. That is what will hit the news. Terror attack at casino.
Oh, fuck this then. Just kill the bastard with something that gives him a heart attack.
Because if he was alive, he could become a bargaining chip. That's why I was trying to keep him alive.
No, I am
but it wasn't required.
Behind this. Like, let's just get something and get you in that room, and then you just stick it in him, and then we leave. This is a million times easier.
Or something like that.
Oh my god! This took a turn!
I wanted to keep him alive because I don't like murdering people, okay?
Then we'll send someone else in there. It's fine.
He has one life versus all of ours, and he's in the most difficult position to extract from quietly because it is a highly public place.
Besides,
but we were almost there. We could keep him alive. We could then use him as a bargaining chip and get information for how to get to Ahu, because he is currently the closest thing to Ahu that we have, aside from that researcher.
I have full faith that Josh will give us a way to get there anyway.
That's metagaming. And metagaming is bad.
We already have Ipey, whatever his name was.
Huh?
We already have what's his face? Card Mouse.
Yes, Ipey. Ipey's his name.
For that purpose.
And some of us don't necessarily just want to go out and kill everyone.
I don't either, but this is way too fucking hard.
Okay, I don't want to go out and kill everyone, but
you kind of do.
I do not. Alright, so, like, real talk.
Real talk now. We're real talking.
Someone keeps trying to say something and I keep, like,
Oh, I was just going to make some comment about, like, okay, so just for those of you at home or at the FBI, just understand that if Annie is ever put in a position where she has to debate between compromising her morals on, you know, exercising the mortality of others for the sake of her own convenience, you saw it here first, folks.
Keeping you alive is way too difficult.
I had to do things. That's just not going to work out with me in my schedule. So I'm just going to have somebody stab you with heart attack medicine. Bye. I thought we were playing Savage Worlds, not World of Darkness, but this is pretty fucking savage. So, as you were.
So my thought was either stab him with something that makes him suggestible, or, you know, have him realize that he can come with us, you know, quietly, or he can get killed.
Okay, so now here's the other peanut gallery comment that I have for that. So Cassie wants them to be suggestible and to come with you guys. So if you like roofie coladas, getting caught at the bar.
You are at a place where it's common to consume food and alcohol. It would not be that hard to roofie this bastard.
But okay, here's the thing. Like, yes, we were going to take him. The idea was we were going to take him, but then what were we going to do with him anyway? After
we have a brig.
What were we going to just keep him in the brig forever?
Not forever, no. But we were going to get information out of him.
What kind of information do you think he has that Ipey can't get to us?
That's a good point. You have the top of the pyramid flipped. You don't need anyone else.
Well, except to be fair, does Ipey know where the everybody is? Know all the closer that the access codes say for Ahu's bunker, since this is the guy that works closest to Ahu.
That's where I was going. This guy, you said this guy was the closest to Ahu, and he has been the figurehead of the person making the deals with everyone.
True enough. True enough.
So that's where I was going, that this guy had more information than Ipey because of those words, you know, that description of him.
Yeah. Ipey knows where all of the forces are, that's right, but he doesn't, and he does have access to Ahu's bunker. But that is a good point. He doesn't have access to everything else. So
this guy's a businessman. He's going to be a pushover. Be like, hey, have you ever heard about bone crabs?
I'm going to have to thank Mr. French for that one over and over and over again.
And even after that, even after we did get information, we're planning on finishing this sooner rather than later in game as well, even if he's in the brig for a little bit, or if we wind up taking him out into the middle of middle of nowhere essentially, and sending him out on essentially an escape pod with enough food to get to wherever the nearest civilized place is. We're not killing him. It's gonna take him a long ass fucking time to get anywhere.
And then he's going to immediately tell Ahu what's going on, and then we're screwed.
I said after we've dealt with Ahu. That was my criteria for that. It's not like it's going to hurt us to have somebody in the brig until we deal with Ahu.
Alright, well, if you want to keep pets, you gotta take care of them.
That's what the bots are for.
Oh my god. Really?
What?
Oh my god.
I would like to imagine that Josh's point of exclamation was actually Jack, because he probably feels that to some extent he qualifies under that descriptor.
Yes, he does, considering he controls all the drones. So Jack is just like, oh my god, really?
I hope he threw his hands up in the air.
So wait,
I'm
actually,
just thinking-
another clarifying thing. Is that a, oh my god, really, of excitement? Or what the fuck?
That's a what the fuck. Jack's like, what the fuck?
So
Because I could see Jack going either way.
I'm wanting to point out that the bots are all animal-like.
No, not those bots. Jack has no control over the animal bots. The animal bots are animals. He has control over the little disc Roomba drones. That's it.
Alright. I wasn't sure if any of... Because I was thinking of the medical animal bot.
Mm-hmm. But you said that the cats had medical protocols that supersede their animalistic tendencies, and so therefore, if somebody is in a medical state of starvation, it would be in their protocols to assist them.
At which point it would go, grab one of you by the ankle, drag you to the thing, and be like, feed it.
I know, I was just imagining the little animal-shaped bots. Because he said, if you want to keep pets, you have to take care of them. And the bots that we have shaped like animals, like pets, taking care of the person that was being called a pet. That's where my mind was going, because it was funny. Anyway. But
I think this is a thing that should happen. But my character's not there right now.
But, I mean, we have food. It's not going to hurt us to have an extra body in the brig. We'll take care of them. But mostly, we'll get information out of them.
We might, I suppose. He
Hell,
might
we
know
could
something.
strand them on a planet that doesn't have space travel.
Alright, so. Are you ready to do this thing?
Okay. Are we back on the plan of he's not dying instantly?
Please?
I don't know, Annie. Are we? You don't get to deflect that shit. We know what happened. I was there.
Leah, I'd just like to take this moment to say, I support you, and I'm proud of you.
Darkness is proud of you. I hope you're aware of what this means. Just
Oh my god.
Leah's ankles hurt. She's crabby and dingy. And morning sickness has swept far longer than it was supposed to.
Oh my god.
Something needs to die to commiserate with her. Anyway, actually, so in character, Leah would be like, look, I mean, obviously I'm not going to be helping him, like, through the doors, because I need to keep things cool and make it look like I'm still in my job. So, you know, if you want to get him out, I'm cool with that. I like the idea of less death in general, but this is a lot of work to get him out, and I can't help with too much of that part.
Yeah.
That's her stance. And we don't have a Relin, so we can't just flip his sorry ass out the door.
It's true. Alright, like, okay, so, I guess, drug the guy, drug the guard, put the guard in the room, and try to sneak him out, like, one of the hotel fire exits?
Yep, or maybe through laundry.
Through the laundry?
Or, you know, if we're roofing the dude, we can just kind of drunkenly stumble out together.
Someone's
You
still
must-
gonna have to get the guard, but I guess that works as well.
By the time the guard wakes up, we'll be long gone.
Who's carrying him?
Who?
Well, if he ends up having an adverse reaction and can't move under his own power, even so much as to stand, who's going to lift him and move him?
Really? Is this what we're getting stuck on?
About that murder plan.
About that powered floating chair.
By the way, if anyone wants to buy this,
I don't know how much this thing actually, like, how much extra this thing can actually.
But okay, so wait. Here's my thing. Is that a unique thing she built for herself, or is it something that you could buy? I don't know, say on her home planet.
That's a good question.
Emily, you need to give me this answer like right now because this is going to affect everything.
Considering that they have dancers in their...
Well, or here's the other question. Do we have a plan?
In the fishbowl.
What I was gonna say is, considering they have dancers in their fishbowl, they have to get them there somehow.
Yeah, there are probably contrivances in some way or another. Honestly, I'm not necessarily sure if they're all flotation vices. Like, that could be like completely custom, but there's got to be something. So, like, it's not like they're necessarily all just like planet locked or something, you know? And
Well, because the logical point that I was trying to get to though is, so if there are more of that chair and he's too drunk to stand up on his own power, you dump him in an empty fishbowl and you float him out of the fucking room.
Or a wheelchair or something, because most places have something like that.
Yeah, but this is sci-fi, Cassie. It needs to be a floating wheelchair.
Well, yeah, it's a floating wheelchair.
The honest truth is that if these floating wheelchairs, if the chairs like she has exist, they're probably sold at this place.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, because I didn't picture them as like planet bound, and you know, if there are ships only with aquatic people, well, that's fine. They can just fill that with water. But otherwise, if they're out there with a bunch of air breathers, they need something.
Well, and
also, holy cow, filling a ship with water and getting it out of orbit.
Also having a ship that runs on electrical systems while it's filled with water.
That's why you build it in orbit and fill it there.
You still have to get that water up to
get
orbit.
The water into orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily. You could take the hydrogen and oxygen.
Annie, you have to get the water into orbit. Shush.
No. See, because they have their. I mean, if they want to do it that way, sure. But they have an asteroid belt rich with water ice.
I was.
And then of course, two ice planets in the system as well. They can
really
mine that ice.
I was really referring to the whole idea of them first going up into space anyway, because damn, that's a lot of fuel.
Spice.
Well, in that case, like all you just need like a small pod with water, and then the rest could just be the missiles to send you up there.
Back on track, people. Are we killing the dude or not?
No.
Okay, get back on task of how you get him out alive then.
We're roofing him, and we're sedating the guard.
And then dumping them into an empty fishbowl.
Well, if he can't walk.
Right.
But these are the contingencies. You must be prepared so that you don't have a panic when it happens. Okay, how are we getting him out? Either by walking him or fishbowling him. How is he leaving? What is our exit strategy once we're moving?
Get to the shuttle, get to the ship.
Josh, do we need to know this route? Is there anything along just... Like, because is it abnormal to walk a drunk man in a fishbowl out the front door?
Nope.
I do appreciate how fast that answer was.
Then we're good.
There's
Drunk
a
men
giant
walking-
bar in this place.
There's a giant bar in this place. It's not uncommon. There's probably a thriving media or a thriving medical market for taking care of drunk people and overcharging them for it.
Okay, well, we're going to let that one lie, and we're not going to comment on that one.
We'll talk about it after game.
Yep.
Okay, then I guess we have a plan. For better or worse. Dr. Russ, don't mix up the roofies so that they don't kill him.
Shedja looks offended. He would... I know my medicines, okay? And you act like I have roofies
Wait.
on me.
I was going to say, how familiar is Dr. S. Nemus with
Sedation.
For that species specifically.
Well, I was going to say more specifically, you know, this kind of sedation. Like, to be fair, we haven't heard her ever say that she's gone on a date.
Because science.
You can't date science.
Science is her date.
You don't need relationships when you have science.
Okay, well, that's the end of the species then.
Well, technically, depending on which route of science you're going down, not necessarily. Anyway.
So we're going to drug the dude, toddle him out while under sedation, out to the shuttle, get him out that way. Provided nothing goes wrong, at which point he's taking a swim.
Right.
Sounds like the best plan ever. So, let's get it underway. Unless there's any holes that anyone can think that they need to patch out.
Leah would probably finish out whatever shift she's on to distract from any potential drawing of attention.
Okay. So Leah is not evacuating. Leah is staying to watch the chaos.
Yes.
Assuming that there's any overt chaos.
But it also ensures, though, that no attention is drawn to any potential part that she has in the roofing if she has to be the backup roofier.
That seems perfectly fine. Okay, so
how did my application go?
Well, let's see. I guess I'm going to ask for a player opinion. What skill would you say it would be to get a appropriate and likable application made?
I don't think that there is actually much in the way of skills towards it. The only thing you can really do is simply hedge your bets and hope that the other person isn't being pissy that day. Oh,
well, that's
wait,
one opinion.
I'm bitter.
Well, that's one opinion. Let's go with a different one.
Otherwise, I have Streetwise, Persuasion.
That sounds pretty specific.
Both at D6.
Sure.
What was the question?
Roll that D6 and your wild die.
For Persuasion, because it's a form of written persuasion to try and get a job.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Go for it.
Oh!
You might want to burn a Benny.
Bennying.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a raise, too. Okay, so yeah, you get a job officially as a dealer. They normally don't hire people straight away to be dealers in the main club, but you got a raise, so you get the job.
Wait, does this plan still require me to go in as maintenance?
Yep.
Shit. I don't have persuasion. I think we're just gonna have to steal me a badge.
Well, except in that regard, you can also then still use your you can use your engineering skill, because then you're getting yourself in not under matter of persuasion, but under the merits of your skill.
This is true.
I suppose that works. Yeah, as long as the GM says that's how it works. Can I get in by merit?
Sure, you can get in by merit. Roll that engineering.
Let's find out.
Oh shit.
I engineered the fuck out of something.
You walk, like, basically, I'm going to tell you how this interview goes. You enter there, they're like, the guy's working on some stuff, and he's kind of one of those gruff, you know, plumber types. You proceed to MacGyver whatever, like the interview's not going well. You know it's not going well. You're not very persuasive. However, in the middle of the thing, inspiration strikes you. You grab what he's working on, grab some parts out of his toolbox, MacGyver him a solution, and hand it to him. And he looks at it. You just saved me 6 hours. You got the job.
Woohoo!
That's how that went.
Take that, tact! Tact and charm!
I can make something out of nuts, bolts, and bits of metal. Take that! Anyway. So. And I think no one else needed a job. So the day that you guys are planning to do this happens. Right?
My question is,
Leah and...
let's 10 o'clock. Are we going to continue and finish this day, or are we going to remember it next week?
Well, I think it'll go pretty quickly considering you all have a plan.
Okay. And
It'll come
because I don't have to work in the morning.
Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with planning a heist and doing kind of like the Ocean's 11 shit. Like, unless something goes wrong, it normally goes off without a hitch, and it normally just comes down to dice rolls. So it goes pretty quick. So, let me reveal what your guys' time at the place reveals. So let's put all these onto the token layer. And all the rest of them onto the token layer.
Aw, the ferret.
Oh my god. He
So-
lives!
So Leah and Light, getting a sense, do kind of know like where the patrols are going, who's where, what's going on. And now I need a dice roll. I need a dice roll for Jack to jack his way into the security systems.
Dirty.
What kind of roll?
Just the D10. Okay. Success.
No, I rolled, sorry.
No, yeah, Cassie rolled. It's fine. So Cassie got us our success. He gets in. Leah, we can say that Leah's roll was for Lop. Lop's assist, which Lop didn't do that well. He's like, I like blunt. No, we're not doing this blunt. No DDoS. But now they're inside. Leah, you get... Leah, Jack gets in. He actually has someone for the night shift be given an unscheduled day off or surprise day off to ensure that you get sent to and stationed at the VIP lounge. So
Okay.
we'll put you over there. You're doing cards over in your snappy... Wait, why didn't you drop? Drop. Oh, that's why you
I
didn't
can't
drop.
really drop myself.
Yeah, you were on the DM layer. Boop.
Oh.
There
Was
we
it
go.
nice there?
Uh-huh.
Was it nice in the DM layer?
It wasn't ice in the DM layer. Nothing was. Nothing was. Yeah. Okay. And Light, after suddenly the security system starts behaving funny. So Light gets called to do some IT work in the thing. Bam. Okay. Thus far, the party has gone off. The plan has gone off without a hitch. Cassie.
Yes.
Please describe to me how Aussie enters this club. Here, I'll give you your token.
Well, the first thing I want to know is that ferret the same ferret?
That ferret is the same ferret. He has the guard with him too. I just couldn't find a token of a gimp for a guard, but he is standing atop the guard, dancing on the middle of the dance floor.
This is the best ferret ever. It needs to be like it. Actually, we need to name it, and it needs to come join us in the Pokemon game when we get there.
Do you really want a sociopathic ferret hanging? What the? Matt, you are not allowed to take any advice from this. No.
I just assumed that this was Rhodes' ferret from the first game.
A scout? Doc Holliday?
Scout got bitter because he got left at the monastery, the world exploded, and now he finds himself in space. He's just pissed off at this point.
He misses Rhodes.
He needed some guidance in his life, and Rhodes wasn't there. Yes, but Light, the chief of security, is with you in that room.
Oh, goody.
He's right there, working on consoles and stuff. Now let's get to Aussie. Aussie, you're up. What do you do?
Oh, I'm entering through the front door.
Okay.
And I'm assuming there's like a concierge in the front or something.
Yeah, if you go through the main entry, right over here, there's concierge.
Because, so yeah, she's going to walk up to them and put not a small amount of money in for
chips.
For some chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are dispensed a series of chips.
And she asks about the VIP.
Okay. I suppose that moves back to Light.
Mm-hmm. What?
So the police chief, the Rasputin, kind of looks over. He's like, "Not quite. I can't do I'm not doing the Russian accent, by the way. Sorry, everyone." So, what exactly do you think's wrong? I know that I got a huge delay on every single camera. Luckily, the recordings are coming out with straight recording. And I got no control over any form of automated defenses.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a chance to look over the entire system yet, but it could be a couple of the servers are down. It could be someone was looking up something they shouldn't on the team and got a virus on your system. Could be a short in some of the wiring. I'm gonna have to run over some things, have a look. Tell you more soon.
Have at it.
That's what I'm doing.
And he kind of gives a few instructions, sends various patrolling guards to continue walking their way. Sounds like you got a taser.
For those of you at home who can't see the Discord, while that whole interaction was happening, I typed in the chat, light. Sounds like you got a taser. Asshat. What? Light. What? Tasers. There you go. Now you get the giggling. You may continue.
Anyway. So. So, Leah, what exactly... You do notice that the guy that Tegeki has come in. He's kind of sizing up various tables, seeing where he wants to gamble.
She sees him, and does she have... I'm assuming she has room at her table, yes?
Yes, she does.
Okay. She smiles at him and gives him a very subtle but cute little, like, you want to come over here.
Roll me that persuasion dice.
You want to fly with us?
I believe I just posted a situational modifier into chat, Josh, that you should probably consider.
Should I roll still?
If you go with what he just wrote, are you going with that?
Sure, why the fuck not?
Okay, take it at a -1.
What?
He's not into mammalian
Minus.
chicks.
Aw,
Aw.
dang.
He's a frog man. Okay, you got it anyway.
Damn it, Jack, why didn't you look at his porn history?
I don't have access to his porn. Like, this is an actual thing that Rellen's going on with as they watch. Jack just looks at him. I don't have access to his fetching porn history. Why would I have access to that?
Seems like you have access to everyone else's in the galaxy.
And you do not want to know what the hell you watch. I know.
Oh my.
And between me and
Jack.
you... Yes?
Jack, I want you to think about your phrasing for a moment.
That
What have you been
potato
What have you been putting in my search history?
Oh, the best stuff. You should look it up sometime. You might be less tense.
And then we cut back to the scene ongoing.
Wait, and then no, we cut to Rellin, face lit up by a screen. And he's like, "Hot carrot on potato action, what?"
Here, I'm also gonna throw in Rustnemus, because where was Rustnemus again? Val?
She just gave the drugs and pretty much went, there you go, pat on the head.
Okay, she's not on
No.
planet in any significant way.
Here's
No.
the drug. Now I wash my hands of it.
You people are crazy.
I look the other way, I am not involved. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know where they got these illegal drugs.
So
And now the plot has come full circle, Doctor.
And then
Don't
the
even.
Doctor, Russ walk behind. Rellin, stop. Hot potato on carrot. What are you looking at?
Why are you watching the Food Network?
Food Network has survived the apocalypse.
okay, so who did we jump back to Aussie? You enter the bar. It is bustling with a few VIPs and their entourages. You see your Mark sitting at Leah's table.
Mm-hmm.
What to do?
Do I see his guard?
His guard is nowhere to be seen. As you walked across the place, I will actually mark his guard because I didn't drop his token on the table. Where's the cannibal mercenary from that time with Osel? There's the bust for him. There we go. dude is actually right there. He's in the main room. Actually, let's put him right there. Watching the 2077s play on stage. He's got one of the dancers half in his lap. He has that freaky helmet all the cannibals wear off. He looks like he's a some form of blue-skinned, high-foreheaded alien. Seems like he's having an okay time.
Blue skin.
He's got blue skin.
Baby daddy.
He's not the baby daddy.
Okay, just because they're blue does not make them the baby daddy.
Blinding.
God, that is insensitive.
The saddest part is I'm not sure if I can ever make that, like, who Leah's baby daddy is pay off, but apparently everyone wants me to. We just need to encounter this guy sometime. I'm not sure how at this point, but we're going to have to find a way.
He's somehow the other guy that Lob's afraid of. Or not Lob, that Ahu's afraid of.
He might be. I don't know. So yeah, I'll see. You know where his guard is. His guard's in the main room, waiting for his VIP to get out of the VIP lounge.
Alright, I mentioned that over comms.
Okay.
The plot twist is that the baby daddy is a shapeshifter. We've run into them 5 times.
He's the ferret.
That's what I was about to say.
No, just no.
Anyway. Sorry, I had to stretch. Yeah, she's going to just kind of eye all the tables like she's trying to figure out which group would be the best bet before she slowly walks over to the table where he's at.
Okay.
She makes a motion like, deal me in.
Leah nods and cuts her in on the next round.
Alright. A waitress passes by Leah, asks for drink orders. Tegeki gets a drink. Some form of cocktail.
Oh, that's my favorite. I'll have what he's having.
It's a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Yes.
Alright, so...
Was that meant to sound as dirty as it sounded? Because I feel like it was meant to sound as dirty as it sounded.
That's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference.
The things you never knew about that book.
Yep. Anyway, so, back to Light for a moment. Light. What exactly are you doing inside the computer system at this exact moment?
Oh, I'm going to be taking control of the security system.
Okay. Make me a computer's roll.
They will only see what I want them to see. Or I'm going to fail horribly. One of those 2 things.
That's what Penny.
Close. You succeed.
Baha! Exactly as planned.
Okay. You now are in the root menus and control of the security system.
Sweet.
What are you going to do with this newfound control?
Let's see here. Well, right now, not much. I don't need to do anything at the moment.
Okay.
But, I'm going to try to be keeping an eye on everyone and, making sure there is not a record of what's going on.
Okay. So, jump back to Leah and Aussie. You've dealt through a couple hands.
Mm-hmm.
Gotten the guy comfortable. doing anything to help with that? Or just playing out hands as normal?
I've been casually flirting and also losing to him. Talking about how, you know, I'm really, really bad at this game. And how she needs pointers.
Cassie, I would simply like to state at this point that I am glad that you are better at flirting than your character.
Well, she's definitely doing better than I'm describing it. I will say that.
Okay. Now that he has a drink in him, or is sipping on his drink. Okay. It's all about, and he proceeds to go into some of the the metagame behind this particular game of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Leah, you also know, having probably played this game a few times around the tables, that he's not also a very good gambler. At least not at this particular game. He understands the theory of it, but he's missing some of the
finer nuances.
Yes.
Asi just looks in awe as he's explaining, and like he knows so much.
Okay. So.
At one point, when he's distracted looking down to explain something to her, that would be when she slips the drug.
Okay. Let's see. What is a... And how is the drug administered? Dr. Rosnemus, what exactly did you give her?
You act like I personally know medicine, so it's probably some ground-up version of a sedative and whatnot. So,
well, were we doing a sedative, or were we doing like?
The plan was to roofie him.
We were
I just didn't.
roofie him.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
You give enough sedative, it might as well be a roofie.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, it also goes on the edge of overdosing, but that's a small detail. Very small detail.
Very small. Very, very small.
So basically, you just want to know how it's administered, right?
Right. I wanted to know, like, how did you decide to, in the end, give it to him? Like, is it oral?
Ingestion,
Ingested.
absorption.
It would be ingestion at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's something that quick dissolves into his drink. Like it pretty much, like, because let's be honest, like if iocane powder can exist in fantasy, this can exist in sci-fi. It just disappears the moment that it goes into the drink.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I figured you'd go with, but I didn't want to make any assumptions.
Bam.
Bam. So, let's see. What's an appropriate role to sneak at? For to have Aussie sneak it into his drink.
That is a good question.
Stealth or sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Which sleight of hand I believe is under stealth.
Which he does not have, but she could honestly just This is also not a very complicated, like, sleight of hand thing she's doing. She's waiting for him to look away, and then putting it in his drink. So I'd say it's probably not even a skill, just like a trait test. Throw your agility at it.
Alright. My
We
lowest
need to get the
trait.
guard
Yeah.
roofied too.
The guard needs to either be completely distracted or sedated when we leave, yes. Anyway, so agility.
Yep, throw the agility.
Too bad I can't use smarts.
It is too bad that you can't use smarts. Okay, success. That wild die saved you.
Die.
Okay. So, it's in his drink. Light, what do?
They still haven't done anything, so I'm still just like messing around like
Defragging the computer, checking for viruses,
yep,
hacking the code.
hacking all the codes. Downloading the internet.
Downloading the internet. Okay.
probably checking wires, checking connections. Basically anything that makes me look busy to someone who has no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Aussie has to keep up a consistent amount of flirting for about 15 minutes until finally the drug hits him like a sack of bricks. And he begins to kind. But he is kind of like, normally I don't go for your type. And he kind of makes the memories gesture over his chest. Just kind of weirds me out, but you've been very pleasant and such good company.
And weird is what I'm looking for tonight.
To be fair, Ussie's chest, well, the chests of most of her species are probably rather small in general anyway.
Which is why you're not getting a negative.
Plus the thick skin that makes them look less mammalian and more something else.
Yeah.
But fun fact, armadillos are mammals.
They are.
Mm-hmm. Marsupials.
Hyper-evolved armadillos.
That's kind of what she is.
That's totally fine, too.
I was gonna ask, if we went out the way that line shows, would the guard be able to see?
Yes, the guard would be able to see.
Okay. I was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So, as he was saying, normally he doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically where he kind of ends off. He kind of draws off at that point, like not quite able to hold his head up. Don't.
So, are you suggesting something? She leans a little closer.
Well, I do currently have the executive suite. It is a lovely room. Maybe we could continue our discussion of games over a cup of coffee. I believe the Gargo Blaster is hitting me a little harder tonight. They must not water it down as much in this facility.
She gives it a soft giggle and is like, perhaps, I think I'm feeling it a little too. And then looks as though she's thinking about something really hard and says, I know the place. They have the best coffee on the planet.
Fuck is that
Ghosts.
If you want to go, it's really close.
That sounds lovely. We shall just have to inform my men as we leave.
I think.
Okay, so gonna get up and go with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So
As they leave, Leah goes ahead and puts up the sign that says "Dealer on break." Back in 5.
And heads out.
Alright.
She has another vial of sedative.
Okay.
Alright, so they're heading... He kind of stagger. He has to rely on Aussie to kind of hold himself up as he staggers towards where the main room where his guards still go watching the performance.
So, as a quick note, we did say that for the guard we were going to do an actual sedative, right? And for the dude we were going to do the roofie?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure.
So Leah, you're the one with that sedative, correct? Or is it
I
Aussie?
have a second.
Okay.
I have a backup.
Right.
One moment. I need to go check on something.
No problem. You kind of stagger across the dance floor. He almost steps on the ferret, or tumbles over, twist the ferret's husband, pet, hubby pet. I'm not even sure anymore what their relationship is.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Call him
Abductee. Anyway, so
Mayor just legalized Stockholm syndrome.
legalized Stockholm syndrome.
It's going to take them a little longer to get over there since he's probably a bit unsteady on his feet.
Yep.
And she's not walking quickly.
So Leah comes over to the main room, walks over, looks around, then she sees him, goes to the main bar, grabs him a drink. That would have been her break drink. Because in general, you get free drinks when you're on. Walks over to him, sets it down, smiles, and said, "Just because you remind me of a good night I had once with someone."
Oh my.
He goes, "Is it because I'm blue?"
Maybe.
This guy is not nearly as handsome as that dude was, though. He's like he's one of those long-headed forehead aliens.
Still, you know, the color might remind her, and if nothing else, he doesn't need to know what she slept with. And hands him the drink and says, "From me to you, I hope you have a great night." And then she waits for him to start drinking.
Rolling a dice, rolling a dice, rolling a dice, a rolling a dice.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm rolling a dice.
Hello, back.
I hope you
Let
roll
us know
badly.
Let us know when Casey's here. We might need her.
Yep. Okay.
Just making
He
that,
actually, for a moment, seems a little suspicious. He kind of swirls his finger in the drink, takes a
No
sniff.
nail polish turns black?
No, that's not what he's doing. He swirls his finger in the drink to see if there's any particulates in it. He takes a sniff. He pulls his finger out and dabs it on his tongue to taste. Then he finds it okay, and so he starts drinking.
Well, thanks for the reminder. I gotta get back to my booth. You have a good one. And she heads back that way.
Okay. So at this point,
Does return to her station.
and like you can see all this going on the cameras of the station, so you know this is going on.
Everything seems to be going according to plan.
All right. So Aussie and Tageki get to his guard. And Takeki's like, "Sir." He's even worse now. "Sir, we are accompanying this lovely lady to a location she wishes to show me. Up. No time for your... whatever you're up to." He looks at the fish woman who's like half, like, occupying one of his knees. Yeah.
She looks over at was it Geki?
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, if he's busy, I know where it is.
He like
safe.
he like ineffectually like he tries to pull the gentleman card. He like reaches over and pats your hand. No, he is here for our protection. He should do his job.
I'm sure that you could keep me safe.
Well, I certainly could, madam. But there.
Matt is laughing so hard. Sorry, I had to keep my mic open so you can hear
I can hear him. I can hear him. This is a man with no game.
Oh, no, Annie, you are not allowed to talk about people you may or may not have witnessed with no game.
Snap.
Anyway.
So
Not on camera.
he simply kind of he looks at her and he kind of opens his coat a little bit. Well, that is certainly true. The dude has a disintegrator sitting in his coat pocket. I do believe that. Well, I might be certainly a wanted man. We should bring my man here. Do you like a potentially dangerous man?
Oh my god.
Are you sure you don't want to go back to the just killing him plan?
Another sedative and he'd certainly be dead.
Anyway. She's keeping it cool. She steps close and puts her arm around his and just kind of smiles shyly up at him.
Also, you can already tell that this man is getting hit with that sedative pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guard is hit pretty hard.
She kind of nudges Togeki with her arm and says, "Come on, he's having a good time. And we're gonna have a good time."
Are you trying to pretend to be drunk?
Am I just kind of helping him feel like he's, because she drank the same drink as him?
Yeah.
So
Trying to make it seem like hers, like it was just a strong drink and not like he got drugged.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay. How about this? Well, no. I was going to say roll dice, but it doesn't matter because the guard's probably going to fall over on the way anyway. So...
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he goes with it. He goes along with it. He's like, very well. My man, stay here. Enjoy your finned women.
Also, Josh, look at Discord.
Bah.
The alarm stopped.
What alarm stopped?
There was a car alarm going
going on, so I had to go down and check, make sure it wasn't my brother's car that got broke into, because God knows he's probably out like a brick.
Okay, so I'll see. Where do you take this man?
Well, we were talking about taking you back to the shuttle, so that's the direction she's headed.
Okay, it'd be out that way and down this way.
Okay. So they go that way?
Okay. You head out this way. I hate that I... Okay, Light. They are officially out of the place and in public areas. What do?
Cool beans. Well then, I'm going to get out of the system and tell him I need to go check on the servers. But he should have normal speeds back up soon.
Okay. Anything specific that you leave behind in the system or have done to the data within the system?
We'll probably loop in some standard stuff, so it doesn't look like there's missing pieces.
Okay. Got it.
It's not on the surface.
Make me a computer's check for that.
Okie dokie. Bam!
Okay, you got it. And then you head out down the freight elevator next to the guardhouse to do what you said you were going to do. So, Aussie, you walk for this man for about, I'd say, about a 20-minute period, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're walking him towards the shuttle bay where you guys can leave.
Mm-hmm.
He is very dazed, having a lot of trouble sticking up on his finger. But about...
Sticking up on his finger?
Or, sorry, staying up on his feet. I, too, have been drinking.
Evidently.
Trying to get in character.
You get into the shuttle bay. You you have your shuttle in eyesight when you hear someone call out to you, telling you to stop right there. Bah. Hang on, let me zoom out the map.
Oh,
And turn around slowly. You recognize it as the voice of the cannibal mercenary from before.
Dude, even your woman's trying to cut you off.
Alright, so. I'll see. What do? Tegeki next to you seems obviously confused at his guard's sudden thing.
Yeah, hold on, I'm thinking for a second about what Aussie would do. Well, she has been this whole time acting fairly drunk.
Uh-huh.
So she's going to have stumbled a few more steps. Not realizing, or pretending not to realize that was talking to her.
Uh-huh.
also turning her mic on her badge so everyone can hear.
Okay.
I mean, I was assuming it was on the whole time anyway, but just double checking that that's the case. Where is everyone else at this point, by the way?
Everyone is kind of, like, Leah's still back at what she's doing. Light has taken a freight elevator down. No one's close to where you are right now.
Where was the doctor this whole time?
The ship.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. So did he say anything after she took a few more steps with him?
You can cut the act. What you didn't know is my species happens to metabolize toxins incredibly quickly. We don't have 6 kidneys for nothing.
She stops and kind of just turns around, looking confused.
He's got his gun up and he gestures to you to step aside and step away from the individual.
Are you gonna
What
let
did
him
I
talk
do?
to me like that?
Do you know who I am?
Let's see, what was her question to him?
She asked what she did.
Well,
Because she wasn't the one to give him a drink.
it's true. Not quite sure yet. I just know that I've seen that man put away a lot of alcohol. You don't get like that normally. Something, and then you're trying to lead him to a mysterious shuttle? Come now. I'm not dumb. Hands on your head.
Should establish a code word.
You probably should have. That's a good idea.
Well, if we can
Well,
hear
the
this
mics
off
were
of the
on.
mics,
Yeah, you can hear that these are on.
I mean, Leah can't do anything about it, so she's gonna have to just kind of ignore it. But how fast can Light move?
Or Russ.
Wait, where? Let's see. They are no longer in the. Wait. Okay. Where does the security system
Really?
cover?
Why are
and
you
what does the
shooting?
security system actually cover?
Why is Relin shooting?
Relin had to just blow 2 bennies.
Is Relin playing sniper out there somewhere?
But yeah, from behind you, from the shuttle. What gun was that, Matt?
That
Laser-
rifle.
Okay, so a laser bolt flies out and neatly smacks the guy straight on the gun arm, forcing it to go limp as a laser bolt penetrates his arm muscle there.
Damn.
I do believe that he was attempting to get in the way of your date. Sir, if you would follow us.
That
All right.
saved me from having to use the Geki as a meat shield because she was gonna put her sword at his throat and walk backwards to the.
In all honesty, you could still do that. There's no real consequence to that. It only improves your situation.
Yep. So that's what's happening.
Tagaki seems to have come out of his stupor just enough with the laser blast and the fact there's now a bone blade to his throat that he's like, what? What is this?
Quiet.
I thought I was going to get laid!
Well, your guard kind of screwed that. Why I said we should leave him there.
I didn't tell him to come! The guard's like... The guard actually, like, is trying to, like, how do you even put it? Actually, hang on, I'm gonna make him a guts check. I have to make him have a guts check. Yeah, he's down. he's shocking out from that, so...
Yeah, especially since...
You see him turn a paler blue as shock sets in.
You get any bonus for having a raise?
Yeah, he got a bonus. It's an extra wound. Which is why I say he's out, because he technically is dead, but Matt specified that he was only shooting the gun arm, so he's out of combat via shock.
And at this point, though, Rellen's just going to kind of lift his chin a little bit and float the dude up into the air and start floating him onto the shuttle as he levels the laser rifle at Tagaki.
Okay, yeah. From here, it's easy enough.
I suppose this is what happens when I let you guys have all of the fun.
You mean somebody still gets shot? Jesus.
May as well make sure that it is done right.
Well, you know, girls' night out was fun for a while. By the way, that better be this episode title.
But wait, but then Tumblr is going to come stampeding upon us with their SJW posts about how Girls' Night Out ended up having to get fixed by a man, and then we're going to be like, but he's not a man.
He's a potato.
He's a fucking potato.
I'm actually kind of glad I set these episode titles beforehand. Anyway, so yeah. What is Leah and Light gonna do? They convene at the shuttle as well?
Leah will show up at the end of her shift. After giving a resignation letter saying, I'm sorry, Cat's stomach, he goes, he kind of found me and I need to go, so bye.
Blame the baby!
Yes, because they can't argue.
What about Light?
No, I'm just leaving. Fuck them, I don't care.
She no call, no shows the next... Oh, that's gonna be funny. The next day, Light gets a call to work.
Why aren't you at work?
Real number. Come on now. I lived on a Norada for come on. Burner phone.
Burner phone.
Now it's gone.
Alright, so... Yeah. And everyone retreats back to the ship.
When she sees Rellen, like, Leah is going to try and be like, Huggles, you didn't let us die, thanks.
When she walks over to try and hug him, she feels like a little lighter than normal. And wait, why don't I have traction? Why am I exactly 2 centimeters off of the ground?
She stares at him. I just wanted to say thank you for not letting Aussie die.
Cassie, you're muted.
See, he says, when she goes to hug him, she feels, and I'm like, wait, did he find a mate?
Oh my god.
That's why he's been busy for the last couple weeks. Growing a penis. Or vagina. One or the other. Something.
Porque no los dos.
Now we understand
Do they like
why
eggs?
the vegetable form was on his.
See, you guys call it Stardew Valley. We call it Matchmaker.
All right. Well, so I just have one last question. It's now 11:30. Took a little more time than I thought, but pretty much on schedule. You guys want to unpack what you do with the businessman next session, or shall we deal with that now?
Well, the question is, how resistant is he to threats of bone crabs? I think that's kind of the defining thing.
Maybe we could actually try talking to him without threats first.
Well, we tried that last time.
Yeah, but
That was
this guy
also an
is-
assassin.
This guy's.
This guy's a
I
business
don't know,
guy.
I kind of feel bad for this guy.
I don't.
He was so helpful at Ima. Like, he was just trying to help her, and
Alright, fine. You know, Essie, if you want to go easy on your boyfriend, you're gonna have to be in there with us.
Yeah, for once. If you want to go about it a particular way, you have to do the fucking legwork this time.
Yeah, you wanted to keep him as a pet, hun.
That's true, you did.
Jack replays from earlier. What the fuck?
When Asi gets onto the shuttle, though, like when she sees that there's something on the dashboard of the shuttle now. While they were doing the operation, he went and he bought a flower pot, and he put it there with a little sticky note that has her name on it, saying, "For when you have a good time."
What?
Because he's a potato.
Oh.
For when they pollinate too aggressively. She wanted a pet. She's just shaking her head at me.
I think that's a good place for us to leave off. I don't think I can top that. We'll deal with interrogation at the beginning of next session. All right, we out.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.